Hello and welcome to another episode of Ashes to Go. I'm your host, Redbyrd, and with me is BDLG. Bordy, how you doing tonight, brother?
Yo, dude, I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Doing great. Another opportunity to talk about Ashes. If you guys are watching this, we have one day until they announce, or have another dev live stream. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, if you guys haven't subbed to our YouTube channel yet, you should do that. We put all kinds of Ashes of Creation content up there on the YouTube channel, as well as on ashesfans.com. So you should check that out. That's our website covering all things Ashes of Creation. We have several things, including our Guild of the Week that we do on the radio over there, on the podcast. What is this, like 1980?
Might be serious, serious.
Yeah, serious. Well, okay. We do podcasts. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you should go over there and check that out for sure. And as we get more and more information from Ashes of Creation, we'll be posting it over there. All right, man. So just a reminder for y'all. Reminder that the first live dev stream on January 29th at 11 a.m. PST, which is 1 p.m. Central, which is 2 p.m. Eastern.
Boom.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Hey, man.
Nice.
I'm very knowledgeable about time zones, dude. I've proven that time and time again.
I'm glad, man.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. If that's something you're proud about proving time and time again, then man, hey, do it, brother.
Hey, man, it's just, it's just one of those things, dude. I know how to, I know how to figure it out, hey, man, if there's a job that just simply revolved around, telling people what time zone things are in, dude, I'm down. I'll do that. Seems easy enough. Right?
Okay. I guess. Yeah.
Anyways,
sure.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's tomorrow. If you're listening to the podcast, it's 2 days from now. Well, I guess that doesn't even work out because they could be listening to the podcast on Friday, and then it would be the day.
True. The release of the podcast. So the podcast will go live right after we record tonight. So it'll go live on the 26th. Mm-hmm. So January 26th, the podcast will go live. They can listen to it obviously anytime. But yeah.
Yeah, you're free to do whatever you want, guys. We're not ones to judge when you choose to listen to your podcast.
No, dude, listen to it now.
We
on
could be,
release day.
Realistically, dude, we could be like someone could be taking a shower and listening to us. They could be.
Why did you go directly to the shower,
defecating?
Dude? Like I would think right, like driving or working out. Why did your mind go straight to the shower?
I don't know.
Dude, nobody listens to a podcast in the shower, dude.
I do.
Nobody does. No.
Yeah, dude,
you're freaking weird.
My wife for Christmas last year got me a speaker. I used to bring my phone in the shower with me. And
why? That's not good.
Yo, we got a shelf. Anyways, so then she bought me a speaker, so that I could a Bluetooth speaker that I could press a audio or whatever, a YouTube video on, and then listen to it in the shower, dude.
You are a die-hard podcast listener, man.
Hey,
Let's go.
I'm an audiophile, dude. I make podcasts, but I listen to podcasts. I'm a connoisseur,
I listen to them too, but while I'm driving or commuting to work and back, or working
too.
out.
I do it all.
Yikes, man.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we're completely off topic. The first 5 minutes of this podcast is about people showering and not about Ashes of Creation and time zones. Showering and time zones.
I blame you, man.
Let's change the name of the podcast, dude. Showering
in time zones?
Yeah. Or something.
No, dude. Let's talk about Ashes of Creation.
Okay, let's talk about Ashes of Creation. Guys, we have an interesting topic on the podcast for you tonight. It was actually a big deal on Reddit as well, and that is the monthly cosmetic situation. Now, me and Bordy talk a lot about this, about a lot of these monthly cosmetic packs that they put out over there on ashesofcreation.com. Obviously backer packages that allow you not only just early access to the game, they give you paid monthly subscription time. A lot of these backer packages do, and along with those things, they give you a slew of cosmetics that we presume, or obviously they state, that are going to be available at launch when Ashes of Creation goes live. So Bordy, there's a lot of controversy over these cosmetics in discussion. One of those is the discussion about making them available to be earned in game, or obviously versions of these cosmetics to be available in game. So there are exclusive these particular now. Steven even went on the Reddit thread. It became a big deal, right? This discussion about whether these should be available, maybe just reskinned or recolored and placed in the game, or should they not be available at all to be earned in game, and on and on and on. So tonight we're going to discuss that here on the podcast, Bordy.
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion, man. It's going to be fun.
It really is, and I think it's really, and we talked a little bit about this in the podcast. It is a big deal because number one, they are right now presenting this as exclusive cosmetic, items that you would only get if you backed the game within the month that they're available, or if you've already backed the game in the past, you have the opportunity to pay a little bit of extra money and unlock these cosmetics as well. Currently, they are exclusive to backers, and there will be a variance in the new world on NPCs and mobs, but will not be obtainable by players. So, again, you may see some NPCs with the armor that you have on, but it will not be dropped by them. It will not be obtainable by them, or the appearance or the actual item with stats and everything like that won't be available. So Steven chimed in on this discussion on how this particular system will work. There will be legendary cosmetics that only achievable in-game, and players can know they won't be offered in some cosmetic shop in the future, undermining their accomplishments. So there's one side of the thing. As well as for the more casual player, time-exclusive purchasable cosmetics from the marketplace. The players who purchase these can be rest assured that they will not be available again in some sale for the company in the future. So there's the two sides from Steven, and this is where we can or kind of take our conversation or jump off on our conversation. So currently in Ashes of Creation, if you they will be exclusive purchasable items that are cosmetics, and there will be exclusive to earned dropped cosmetics that you will never be able to purchase, Bordy. So first and foremost, what do you think about this? Is pretty standard, I think, for most MMOs, is that separation between purchased cosmetics and dropped cosmetics.
Yeah, so where do you want me to go with this first? The topic about purchased cosmetics versus dropped cosmetics, or the fact that you can't obtain these cosmetics in game? The only way you can get the backer pack cosmetics is buying them now, and you can't obtain them.
Well, so first off, what are your thoughts on Steven's statements about again, having the exclusive content on both the purchasable and the earnable side?
So, I mean, it's kind of interesting, man. I think it's okay. It is a very highly debated topic, and I can see exactly why it's a highly debated topic, because whenever you have exclusives that are only on the purchasable side, that then becomes kind of a cash grab scenario almost, or in people's minds, it can become that. I don't necessarily have a problem with that if it's just cosmetics, right? Obviously, you don't want to go to the pay to win. Good grief, I'm like you now, Red. Obviously, you don't want to go down the pay-to-win road because we've seen what that does to games. And I know that they're not doing that. They've stated multiple times that they're not doing that. It's only cosmetics only. So I think it's okay to have purchasable cosmetics that are only available that way. And I especially think it's fine if you have backer packs. These are people that are coming to support your game's development, right? These are people that are the early adopters, the people that believe in your game and believe in your what you're creating. And it's completely an option of theirs to buy one of these backer packs or not. So I think because they're coming in as supporters of you, you want to reward that in some way. And if you reward that, and then later on down the road, somebody in game earned this same cosmetic from killing a boss mob or something, and then everybody has it, well, then that just puts a sour taste in your mouth because you just spent $500 on backing the game, and you don't have really anything.
There's more things than the backer packages.
Well, I know, man. I understand. I know. There's different tiers of backer packages, but you get the point, right? Like, I mean, you buy something, you support something. So I see that side of things for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I also see the side that people think it's just a cash grab because they continuously put up these cosmetics all the time. They rotate them out all the time, and then they're never going to be obtainable any other time but now. And so you got to buy them. But at the same time, they're also trying to help fund the game, right? It is a self-funded game by Steven. I think partly, right, and then the other part of it is these backer packs and whatever. So they are trying to earn money. That's one of the ways that they're funding the development of the game. So I think it's okay. My opinion is that it's fine. I don't have a problem with those backer packs being exclusive to the people that bought them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only option at this point. I think it would be created an entire or a massive outrage of the people that have backed the game already if you make those cosmetics that they bought under the pretense that they thought they would be exclusive, making them available in game. It's just interesting, Bordy, because I think this is the norm for MMOs in 2020 and beyond. 2021 now we're on, is where you're always going to have a cash shop. Now, the reason there's a cash shop, Bordy, is because players buy things from the cash shop. It's that simple. If no one paid money for these cosmetics that, in Black Desert Online and ESO, all these, newer, more successful MMOs, even WoW is having cosmetic things now that they're releasing that are part of the Transmog system that you can purchase. Dude, people buy them. If they didn't buy them, then companies wouldn't see them as a means for income, and they wouldn't spend so much money and time creating these things. So, you can argue all you want. It's apparently a very lucrative thing, or else they wouldn't be doing it. I do think that the game should also have very, equally as cool looking stuff that drops from raids and dungeons and open world bosses and everything like that you can obtain for your character and wear and be proud about that. I think that, in World of Warcraft, that was one of the very successful things that they had early on compared to other MMOs, is because you had those tier sets of raid gear that were amazing looking. You know what I mean? You saw someone walking around with the current tier set that just came out, and they, you know what I mean? They look dope, and they stood out from everybody else, and that's what you really want, is to stand out from everybody else from your characters. Is there going to be division in the community if you're wearing your purchased piece of armor, and then there's other people that are flexing on you because it's like, look, I actually did content to get my gear and blah, 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 blah. Probably. But I do think that it's fine to have both, because again, as we get older, Bordy, and we have less time to play video games, it is nice to be able to purchase a cool looking transmog that, to make our character look dope if we don't have time to grind out the, 0.00001% drop rate of this cool looking shoulder, so I think it's fine to have both.
But I don't think it should look the same though, right?
Not the same, just cool.
Yeah, for those people, cool. You should get a cool looking piece of gear, or a cool looking not a piece of gear, but a Transmog 4 gear, costume, outfit, whatever. If you grind it out and go grind that really hard dungeon, and there obviously needs to be cool ones in the cash shop for people to buy them. Nobody's going to buy it if it doesn't look good. But if you go spend your time in game and you just grind out, and you are one of the elite players in Ashes of Creation, you've spent all this time, and you are the number one player in the game. You should have something to show for that nobody else has, that is literally not obtainable in any other way other than doing that piece of content. I think that type of stuff is awesome too. It's like, it shows the dedication that player has to the game, shows that they're good at the game, all of those types of things. You wear it around as a trophy, and that's really cool. And it's really cool, like you said, to see somebody walk into town that has that on, and you can look at them and be like, oh, that dude, that dude right there.
That dude killed that dragon.
Yeah, man. He choked it to death. Yeah. So I think that's cool too. Choke the dragon, man.
Probably should not.
That didn't sound. That did not
good
sound
at all, dude.
Listen,
now,
I did not. Listen, man. I wasn't
now
trying.
An R-rated podcast. We're gonna get
no. Oh my gosh, dude. I meant okay. We're just gonna leave that. We're just gonna let that rest. Right.
All right. Well, we'll change the subject. So and it's really interesting to me that people are debating this right now. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I understand the concern because they don't have a great track record with, the community as far as investing their time in certain things like Apocalypse that, a lot of people got very upset that they're even, thinking about creating. Now, they defend it as a way that they got a lot of important combat information so that they could adapt their combat to make it more smooth on the back end, and behaviors between PvP and characters attacking each other and all that, which I believe that you could gather information on whatever combat system they're going to implement. We don't even know at this point, but the fact that they, a lot of people believe they're trying to just kind of jump on that battle royale cash cow, and just they believe that they kind of wasted their time in that sense. Now, did they or not? I don't think so, but but I think it's easy to see where people think that. So then when you start to see the other thing that they've actually produced, now they are working on an active alpha client that we haven't seen a lot from, but as the months come on, we'll get to see more and more of what they actually have in the game. The only thing they've other produced outside of that, Bordy, are these cosmetic packages. So I think just people are on high alert right now as they produce a game or a playable client that's that runs well, that is fun to play. I think these whispers will die down. You know what I mean? Once they start to produce an actual MMO that people can play and realize that this isn't a cash grab or whatever, I think things like this will not be the biggest topic on the Reddit. I think it'll be more MMO related conversation, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we'll see that pretty soon, right? When is the alpha that's not under NDA is in March, right?
No,
so we have a couple of months. March 19th. Yeah, March 19th, pre-test 3, March 19th to the 26th. So we'll see soon what they have. And I think you make some good points there, that it does kind of tie into the whole debate, is that some people probably do view all the cosmetics as just a cash grab. That I don't think that's what they're doing at all. I think they put a lot of time and effort into those cosmetics to give something to the players worth purchasing and worth backing the game for, and as a reward of, hey, here you go. Instead of just giving you early access to the game, they're going above and beyond and giving you some really, really dope cosmetics, because they really do look really, really good. And I think that's fine to reward the players in that manner. But I can also see the other side of the argument, where people are thinking, even at, especially after the apocalypse thing, like you had just mentioned, that they have, the apocalypse thing was, in my opinion, a misstep by them. I know that they were trying to test their combat, test some mechanics and whatever, but the timing of the whole thing and the way it was perceived and the way it was marketed, it wasn't good for Ashes. And they have rebounded from that awesomely, because now the hype around the game, has been recently very high. I think it's starting to kind of die off a little bit now, but I'm assuming that'll go back up again at some point when Steven joins somebody's stream or something crazy. It'll go back up. But so they've rebounded from that, but I think that still probably did leave a bad taste in some people's mouths, and they think that it's a cash grabby type of thing. And I don't think it's going to be that way at all, though. I really don't. I like the subscription model that they have going on. Steven brought up some other good points in that same Reddit post about how it's a free to play box game with a subscription model, and then an in-game cash shop with cosmetics only. And he stood by his vision and his model for monetization for the game. Yeah. And I think that's good too, whenever you have your leader standing by the monetization. And I think it's all probably okay. And I do find it very interesting too that this whole topic just blew up so much. It did. Like, people are very passionate about this situation. I think so many people have been burned in the past with this type of thing, and I think it is just a really hot button issue,
Well, and you kind of look at, what do most games do when it comes to like early access and backer packages and everything like that. Most MMOs, I would say a large percentage of them, have like one unique set of cosmetics that you just get that, right? If you buy the premium package or the elite package, you get this, one appearance of armor that everybody gets if they, pre-ordered the game or whatever like that. And I understand like the concern with like, there's like a lot. I don't know the exact number, but I would guess it's at least 20 different sets of armor and items and mounts and caravans that they have done so far. Now this is just their way to fund the game. Like you said, this is a way that you're getting a little something in game that might be unique from other players that are back the game depending on when you back the game, right? When you purchase the backer package. But dude, it's definitely a viable conversation to have, and I don't want to like act like I'm discounting, the importance of the conversation, because I think it's good for people to hold other like companies like Intrepid and Steven accountable, with good conversation about what should and shouldn't happen, because I do feel like they want to listen. They do. Intrepid has set a good precedence, or Steven particularly coming on streams and having open discussions with people has set a good precedence for conversation in the community. And it's good to, again, consider, or good to see him continue to consider things and talk with the community about things. So Bordy, here's an interesting question. What do you think about this? Is this a good way to reward backers of the game, and should these items be obtainable by players that didn't back?
Yeah, I think we've kind of talked about that a little bit already, and I think it is probably, how else are you going to reward your players, right? Like, what else are you going to do other than give early access to the game and alpha and beta? I mean, you don't want to give them an item that's going to be a weapon or something that's going to give them a buff, or you don't want to go down that road, because going down that road is then a very slippery slope with pay to win.
It will kill your game.
That's not a good thing. It'll kill the game. So what else do you offer? What else do you offer? Really cool looking stuff, man. That's all you can do, I think, to entice, not even to entice people to buy, because I think a lot of people would buy strictly for the early access, but I think it's just an above and beyond reward to give people. Now, on the side of should they be obtainable in game, again, I talked about that a little bit earlier, and that's a slippery slope for me, and I'm very on the fence about that. I think that it's fine if these people, I think I would be upset as long as I know up front. Like, if I know up front, and I think all the players do at this point know up front, that if you buy this cosmetic, or at least they do now after this debate, because I think a lot of people had a misconception that you could obtain these cosmetics in game. And I think that's kind of what kind of formed this whole debate anyways, that some people were thinking you could obtain these in game. Right. And that's not the case. They stated you cannot. Once you buy the backer pack, that's the only way to obtain that item, is to buy it, and then you can't obtain it in games. So knowing that up front, I think it's fine, right? So now I know that as a consumer, as a buyer. So if I see something on there that I want, I better get it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to buy it. Now, if I didn't know that, and I thought I was getting something exclusive, and then I seen somebody else running around in game with it because they went and killed the first dungeon boss, then I'd be highly upset. So, so I'm glad they're at least sticking to it. And I think it does speak a lot for Steven for getting on there and talking about it openly with the community too, and sticking to his guns. And he got on there, and his post was very well written. And I think he communicated exactly to every point that was brought up. And I think he does a great job at doing that kind of stuff. So kudos to him for doing that. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to get on Reddit and post that, but he did. I think he cares about the game, cares about the players, and the success of the project. So
yes. Good. So last thing we'll kind of talk about here, because I think it all kind of ties in to what the game will probably look like when it launches, or when the game comes out. And how important, or how big of a thing transmogs are and appearance items are in game. What happens 2 or 3, 4 years down the line, when you obviously have tons of transmog gear, along with these obtainable, purchasable transmog systems. What is the grand scheme of this? You know what I mean? Really, when it comes down to things like this, I think it's a very important, and kind of this alludes to what we were speaking about earlier. This is an important thing now, but when you get, into year 10 or year 11, hopefully Ashes of Creation lasts that long. These are kind of going to be rare items that people are going to be able to flex on other people. Like, look, I backed the game, in the first month or the first year, or at least year or two before launch. But that's going to be it, man. This stuff isn't really going to matter, hopefully, when you get into it. And I think, again, I'm cool with them selling these things as exclusive transmog items. And I just think that they're going to provide so many different options for this in game that this isn't going to be a big deal when the game is actually playable.
Yeah, probably not. But this brings up another topic really fast. Is like, what's your opinion overall on transmogs in game anyway? Like, should you as a player just wear what you find in the game, and then that way other people know what armor you have on and what stuff you have on versus like a level 1 character looking like a max level character because you have some really dope transmog that you purchased from the store.
I mean, I just think, again, we're here, dude. This is the meta of MMOs. Transmogs, making your character look dope. I think it is what it is. I mean, you know, it was pretty rough, you know, in MMO history when you're wearing a green helmet and red shoulder pads and then like metallic looking chest. And then you got, you know what I mean? Like, you're not looking epic, dude. You're not a hero. You look like, you know, someone who possibly fell into the armor closet and walked out with whatever it was touching his body. Obviously,
I kind of like that in early levels though in MMOs, man. I like to look like a bum and then work my way up with my armor, and then whenever I get to end game, I look like this amazing warrior that I've built up. Like it's like a progression feel. It's another type of progression to me. I've never been a huge fan of these over-the-top transmog systems in MMOs. I'll just be completely honest. Like ESO, for example, you go in there at level 1, you can throw on a dope-looking just a costume right out of the gate, and you can look like you're in-game gear. And I'm not so sure. It takes away something from me. So I usually don't do that in games. I don't typically transmog, and you can probably vouch for this because in ESO, I didn't transmog anything until I hit max level. And then I transmogged my gear just because I like that progression feel. You know, I always think it'd be interesting for a game to implement some sort of transmog system that scales on level. Like you can transmog your gear, but only to a certain extent each level. You can dye it. You can make it. Do they?
Yeah, you can only transmog anything that drops, like that would have dropped at your current level. You can only transmog that and then backwards. That's how I
like that. That's a pretty cool system. See, I would like that. But to what extent though? Like, can you dye it, or can you just completely change it to whatever you want?
You can't dye anything in WoW. You basically just whatever the appearance of the item was, that's what you can transmog to. So.
Gotcha. Okay. That's interesting. Something like that is pretty cool. I think that's a really, really good idea because that way, you know, maybe it's not over the top. You don't look like some crazy awesome character whenever you're low level. You know, I don't want to run around looking completely like a bum. I'd like for my stuff to match at low level, but I also don't want to look like I have on in-game gear at level 2.
So then what do you think they should set if they were going to do something like that? What would these particular transmogs that you're backing the game with, what level do you set those at? Max level maybe, because they're
that's the hard
cool and then people who bought them are like, yo, I can't even equip these from at level 1. What the heck, dude? I paid all this money. I have to grind to max level to get to the stuff I paid for. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't think they can implement that system now, right? I don't think they can do that now because I think these people that have bought these things, and whenever I buy my pack, I'm going to want to equip it, you know, as soon as I get in the game just to see what it looks like. Now I'll probably equip it, and this is no joke. I'll take that joker off, and then I won't equip it again until in game because I want to see what happens. I like to see that progression, but that's just me, man. That's just what I like to do. I feel like I have to earn looking good in a game. And then once I get to end game, that's part of my fun in end game is making my character look real dope. And I don't want to do that until I get there. I just what I like to do, and I like to. It's another sense of progression for me. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, that about does it. You know, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And if you're watching YouTube, for sure. Let's join in on the conversation about this because I think it's a valid one. You know, these are interesting. It's just interesting the way that MMOs are kind of going in this sense, and video games in general with cosmetic items that you can purchase. I think just we're here. Like, it's just a thing now. Something that I think it's unreasonable to expect people not to do this now because I think it's just such a, you know, it's a viable way to fund the game and to keep the game going, to keep content being produced. But the fear always, I think, Bordy, is that like, okay, so is the only new content we're going to get is cosmetic stuff because that's the only thing that's making money? You know what I mean? Like, those are always those concerns, you know, from, I know tons of old MMOs that have kind of or just kind of fell into that, that cycle where the only new content is cosmetic stuff. There's just nothing else being produced in the game. So that's something I don't think we're going to fall into. It's important to remember, guys, Steven came from Arcage. He was, I would say he was probably a whale, one of their whales. and seeing that game deteriorate, you know, in its form and its playability because of pay to win features, I can't imagine Steven's gonna fall into that.
No, I don't
trap.
think that's going to be a problem at all.
Yeah, so I mean, I can live with some cosmetic stuff. Bordy,
Yep.
why don't you tell people about our Guild of the Week?
Yeah, dudes. The Guild of the Week this week is the Eldritch Harbringers. Yeah, hold on, man. And gosh dang it, dude. Here it is, dude. All right, man. Sorry,
dude.
I botched that one.
Yeah,
I hit back on my browser.
Choking
and I messed
the dragon
up.
here, dude.
All right. Yo, dude, let's never say that again, okay? That was a mistake on my part. I didn't mean to. Listen, man, I didn't mean it like that. It wasn't. Listen, we're gonna talk about the Eldritch Harbringers right now, okay?
Okay.
The Eldritch Harbringers, man, Harbringers. They're an EU guild. Language is English. Focus is PvX. Size 20. They are currently recruiting. They are a small starting guild made in the long wait for AoC. They aim to create a close-knit community of players. We do support RP. Our guild will have and partly has a guild lore. Dude, that's dope. We also have other goals, but that's for you to find out on the Discord. So they kind of leave a little bit of a teaser there. I like this, man. It looks like they're going to be an RP guild. They already have a guild lore going, or partly have a guild lore going, and they are small starting guilds. So if you want to get on the ground floor of a really cool RP guild that has some lore to their guild, dude, that could be a really cool thing to get in on the ground floor. And then as that guild grows, watch that lore grow. That'd be really cool. So Eldritch Harbingers will make sure to post all their information below in the YouTube links. And then, of course, it'll be everywhere podcasts can be listened to. It'll be in the description and all of those as well.
Nice, dude. Again, thank you guys for going over to Ashes Fans and creating your guild account over there. If you guys have a guild and you want it to be advertised on the podcast, don't forget to go over to ashesfans.com, create an account, and rep your guild over there. It's cool to hear about you know, all these guilds that are dedicated to Ashes of Creation, how early on this is, man, and seeing them build up a Discord and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, this does it for another episode of Ashes Go. Again, guys, we will be covering the developer stream that happens on the 29th here on the channel, on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't already subbed, definitely hit the sub button. We'll be coming out with a lot of Ashes of Creation content in the future. And then, of course, next episode on the podcast, we'll probably break that stuff down as well. All right, Bordy, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, man, twitter.com /at the BDLG on Twitter. There we go. Jeez, it's getting late, man. And then just go sub to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/studio loot.
Yes, I'm Redbird with the Y. You can find me at Twitch under that. Please, on Twitter, go follow the Studio Loot thing, the Studio Loot account. That's where we tweet out all of our new content and interact with other people. Also, yeah, guys. We're just happy to have you guys. Honestly, the Ashes of Creation community is one we're proud to be a part of. We're going to continue to produce content with you guys. We appreciate your patience as we've kind of stepped to an every other week cadence. I realize we're sometimes behind on the news and everything. But if you're following if you're subbing to the YouTube channel, dude, you're not behind, because we're covering it on the reg, on the daily, dude. We're definitely not choking the dragon over at the YouTube channel. Oh my gosh. We're all right. That's enough. That's 3 times. Tune in next time where I try to work in choking the dragon in some weird and awkward way. Not completely.
Let's wrap this thing up.
All right, dude. All right, guys. This has been a crazy episode. We appreciate you guys listening to it. And we will see you on the next episode of Ashes to Go.